Hey YouTube, what it do? I'm back with another video. This time we'll be running Ursaluna. That is a lucky. It's a 15, 14, 13 shiny, and Florges, that's a 14, 15, 14, and Excadrill, that is a 15, 12, 12. So now I did pretty good with the team. I went 2-5-0s, 1-4-1, and I do believe the other two sets were a little bit bad because I was still trying out the team. I did make a couple. I did switch out Florges for Ursaluna in the lead, and then I swapped it back, as you guys will see in the video. But question of the day is, did I have a question? I don't know. I thought I had one. Oh, the question of the day is, do you prefer me doing face cam or no cam in these videos? But either way, we're gonna hop into the and link in the description to my Twitch too, to see the if you want to see any of these battles happen in real time. I do stream these battles over on my Twitch, and then I do record over to YouTube. So if you guys like to follow me over on Twitch and watch them in live, link in the description. So in the first battle, we're gonna see that we do top left, but that's because we kind of just lost. Now we're gonna see Florges into Gyarados, a Dragon Tail Gyarados, which is pretty okay with us because we do resist the Dragon Tails. They're farming up energy. They actually crunch us, which is not the correct move to throw, but maybe they was going for the debuff. We're gonna go straight for the Moonblast. They actually do shield, so at this point I do decide to go for the next Moonblast, hoping that they don't shield this one, but they don't shield it. Okay, so I'm thinking of a different match, which is fine. So now we can actually shield this. It is an outrage. Kind of thought they were doing something cheeky. So now I'm gonna go straight for the disarming voice. We do get a shield. Now I'm gonna go straight for the Moonblast on the Swampert, and this should be doing some big damage. I'm going to stay in. I'm probably gonna let this go. It is a Surf, so a non-legacy Swampert. So if you guys are going to be running Swampert, make sure that you guys do have the legacy move, Hydro Cannon. So now we're going to see Garchomp come into our Ursaluna. And at this point, this is pretty much over. They're going to Sand Tomb us. We're going to go straight for the high horsepower. And no reason for us to bait, but because since shields are down, it goes down. And we're able to tackle down the Gyarados. And we're going to take that win. So yeah. So these first two sets are me trying it out, and then you do see me switch the Ursaluna to the lead right here. So now we're gonna see Ursaluna into Gyarados, which is why I kind of switched the leads. I'd rather have Gyarados into Ursaluna because of the Thunder Punch. We're gonna shield the first one, see what they want to do. I'm gonna build up a little extra right before they get to the next Aqua Tail, but I do not throw, which is my mistake. So now I'm gonna have to double shield here. I'm going to undercharge the Thunder Punch, but they still shield regardless. And because of Garchomp, now I'm gonna be able to switch into our Florges. Not before I farm up extra energy before I switch out. So now I'm gonna go straight for the Moonblast. See if they want to shield it. If they don't want to shield it, which they actually do shield, which is fine. So now we're pretty much resisting every single move here. They can outrage us. It does a little bit more because of the Sand Tube debuff. We're unable to get to our move. I think this is CMP. Yeah, this is CMP. So pretty bad for us that we end up losing CMP. I try to undercharge it, but at this point, this move is going to be enough to KO. Now, in comes the Excadrill. I switch out into Excadrill. I'm going to be able to make it to the Rock Slide before they even get to their Aqua Tail, which is fine with me. I'm going to farm up. We're going to CMP on the Zero Run, and we're going to be able to take this game. Yeah. So now it's paying off, putting Ursaluna in the lead. We're going to see if it continues to pay off. If it doesn't, then like I said, we do end up switching Florges back to the lead. So now we're going to see a Mamoswine in the lead. This is pretty bad. Kind of wish I had Florges here now. So either way, it's either you're going to be one Florges in the lead or you're going to want Ursaluna in the back. But to be honest, I think maybe Florges is better in the lead. And you'll see later on when we do get those 5-0. I did lose a lot of leads. Now we're going to come into Florges, and we're going to shield this. We're going to farm up just a little bit extra, I do believe. No, we're going to throw it as soon as we get to the Moonblast, but we're going to throw the Disarming Voice, which is going to be enough to KO. In comes the Metagross, and then in the back is a Sylveon to meet our extra drill. So we're gonna go for the drill run. We're gonna charge it to excellent. They're gonna let it go. I'm gonna get to the next drill run. We're gonna see what they want to do here. They most likely shield. No, they let it go, which is fine with me. Now we have some extra farm here. I'm gonna farm up. I think I made a mistake here by not throwing, but we're at the back-to-back, so I could just throw the back-to-back now. And to my surprise, they're actually running psychic, which is a little weird. I don't know why they would be running psychic. Unless it's a non legacy meteor mash metagross, which would be very weird, to be honest. And they force quit the app. Once again, trainers, do not do that. That is not very sportsman-like to do. As the person that I do BMs, right? But the only reason I do them is because I know I'm gonna win, and either I do them because I'm gonna win, or because you should have top lefted when you should have top lefted, and if you didn't top left, I'm going to BM you. So now we're gonna see Gyarados into our Ursaluna. Nice lead. I do believe I let the next one go. So now we're 1-1 shield. I want to see if they're gonna shield this. They do shield it, which is pretty bad because now they're gonna be able to farm us down. But it is not too bad because we can come into Florges and we just resist almost every move. Yeah, we do resist pretty much every single move. Aqua Tail would be the perfect move, right? The correct move to throw here. But I guess they were going for a debuff. Doesn't make sense. We're going to be able to farm down. In comes a Metagross. In the back is an X drill. I'm going to throw right before they get to the drill run. I don't want to go for CMP tie. Even though I do have a shield. I do want to keep my shield for the Metagross just in case. This is not enough to KO, but at this point it really doesn't matter. And they kind of stop tapping. They know it's over at this point. So, yeah. So, actually, in the first set, we're going to go 4-1. So, I lied, I guess. Yeah, I think it's the next two sets where we kind of just get hard-walled. And this is a new team, too. 2 new Pokemon I have never used in my life. I did power up the Florges recently. Well, I've been building it since last season when Master Premier Classic was around and they got Fairy Wind. I wasn't able to build it, didn't have enough candies, so sads for me. But then so then I did make it. I continued to make it, able to power it up, get 2 moves. Unfortunately, it's not best buddied. I should have best buddied it, but it is what it is. And the Ursaluna, I built it this December when the recap came. So we're gonna do a nice catch here because I don't want to take another Aqua Tail on my Ursaluna. Now we're gonna be able to farm down, but we're gonna take another Aqua Tail before we farm down. That's fine with me. Florges is kind of bulky. In the back is a Rhyperior. I don't want to see my Excadrill up against this thing. We're gonna go straight for the Moonblast. They don't shield, which is perfect for me. I'm going to throw on the third Smackdown. No, Mud Slap. Okay, these are running Mud Slap. There's others that are running Smackdown, I do believe. They leave with their I do believe they're Atom move, maybe. But either way, at this point, I'm going to save my shields. I'm not gonna shield this. And Excadrill should be able to close this game out. That's fine with me. I'm going to shield here. They denied me somehow, but whatever, this game is perfect. Right, Niantic. I should have thought, I assumed I was going to get my move through because we are running the same turn move. Somehow I lagged a turn, but that is what it is. So we do end up taking that game. Dragonite in the lead. So now this is kind of iffy for me because this is when I started thinking maybe now Florges is what I want to put in the lead. And Dragonite can throw superpower. It has access to superpower, which is not good for me, but we do call the bait. Now I do believe I'm probably just gonna let this go, come into Florges, try to farm up energy. And I do believe I see MP here, which is pretty not smart of me, and I end up shielding a Dragon Claw. I thought they were gonna go for the superpower, but they don't. But we undercharge it to get a little bit more farm. In comes the Metagross, and in the back is an Excadrill. And at this point, we're not going to be able to win. So I'm just going to top left. So yeah. If I didn't shield, I probably had a very good chance of winning, but since I shielded, there was nothing I could do there. So now we're gonna see Garchomp into our Ursaluna. They're gonna outrage us right from the beginning, and that's fine, I guess. But this is pretty bad because now they just sealed this and they can just win. So I'm gonna switch into our Florges to see what they have in the back. We get Sand Tuned, and in the back is the Metagross. So now we just got Hard Walled, and I'm going to top left here. So now, as you guys see, this is where I do make the switch to Florges back into the lead. Now we're going to see Dragonite. This is perfect. Now we're going to see a Mamoswine. I don't want to switch because both of my Pokemon in the back are kind of weak to Mamoswine, and I don't want to switch. I'm going to shield this. And the other two Pokemon can do pretty well against Dragonite, so I'd rather stay in the lead. I'm going to shield again. And then at this point, I need to either farm down or should have tried to throw the move. But I do believe we do live this and we're able to farm down, which is good for me. And then he's probably not going to come into his Dragonite, but he does come into his Dragonite, which is a little weird for me to think. Is he double weak to my Florges in the back? He's staying in. He's going to superpower me. Then he's going to switch out to his Garchomp. So he was double weak to our Florges. So as I did read it, that's why I did save Florges. But I don't know if we're going to be able to take this win, though. He did farm up a lot of energy. So he's not running Sand Tomb, which is pretty bad for me. But he's going to be able to farm us down before we even get to a move. And I just leave. So now we're going to see Metagross into our Florges, which is pretty bad for us. So we're going to switch into Ursaluna. In the back is the Gyarados. This is where we want to see it. Either in the lead or we want to see it up against Ursaluna. We don't want to see it up against our Excadrill. So this is what this team is pretty much supposed to do, is bait out the Gyarados that is in the back, if it is in the back. Like I said, we want to see it in the lead or we want to see it in the back. So now we're going to be able to not get to another Thunder Punch, which is pretty bad for us. I'm going to let this go. Hydro Pump me. But they all go for the Crunch, which is a little weird. I should have threw here, but I didn't throw. Guess I'm trying to get a lot of energy just in case. And now I do choose to throw here, even on bad timing. Doesn't matter. I was back-to-back disarming boys. Now I'm going to switch immediately into Excadrill, and in the back they have a Dragonite. So we should be able to win this. I do believe this is just a Dragon Claw. Or it is a superpower. Okay, I was one off, I guess. We're going to farm up just a little bit extra right before we get to the next drill run to make it more comfortable for us. We're actually at the drill run. Okay, so we were at back-to-back moves here. I am tripping. And at this point he throws. That's fine. And I actually, if I would have known I was one away from the Moonblast, I would have went for the Moonblast. I was one away from the Moonblast, and if I would have known that, I would have went for the Moonblast just to beat him. And that time we're gonna do, it's gonna be a 2-3. We're gonna be hopping into the third set. We're gonna see a Dragonite into a Florges, which is pretty good. We're gonna see a Snorlax come in. I'm going to chip it just a little bit, because I want to make it a little bit easier for me to win this matchup. And we're going to be able to catch the Body Slam onto our Ursaluna. So now this is looking pretty good. We just got to shield a superpower, and I do believe that I do not end up shielding a superpower, which is pretty bad for me. Now we're going to charge up to the Thunder Punch. I'm going to throw. We're going to be able to farm down. And at this point, this is looking pretty bad for us. Can we get to the horsepower? We're not able to get to the horsepower. Really sucks for us. So now I'm going to shield this. Damn, they got a lot of energy. Okay, so this is pretty bad for us. I do believe this is probably going to be a loss. But they end up switching, which is a little weird. So now at this point, they kind of have to shield, but they don't shield. And I top left. Oh yeah, so I do remember that game. I was like, I even said that. I was like, I'm gonna throw a bait. They're most likely not going to shield. They're probably just gonna sack it, and because of that, I did end up losing. So now we're gonna see Needle King into the Florges, and at this point, I was like, is somebody trolling me? Because I am live streaming them on Twitch, so I was like, is somebody trolling me? And so we're gonna be able to get the shield with the Thunder Punch bait, which is good for me. Now we're gonna be able to farm out just a little bit more. I don't want to take another Dark Pulse. I don't want to go down shields. He apparently does. So now I do believe I let this go because he did bait me with a Thunder Punch earlier, and I don't want to shield a Thunder Punch. So now we're gonna be able to get to the high horsepower on this Venusaur, and we were almost able to farm it down if we just had a little bit more of health, but that is fine. And then right here, as you guys can see, if you guys can see, I actually came into my floor, just did one fairy win, and then swapped into Excadrill to catch the sludge bomb on my Excadrill. And the reason I did that is just in case that they did come and troll me on my Twitch channel. So once again, if you guys want to watch these battles, link in the description to my Twitch. Now we're going to see a Dragon Breath Gyarados to our Florges, which is pretty good for us. We're going to stay in Aqua Tails. That's fine. We can tank like 2, 3. We can tank 3 before we have to shield. Now, we're going to throw the Moonblast. They do shield. This is CMP. I am going to shield this. It is the Crunch, which is pretty bad for us. It would have did a lot less damage than the Aqua Tail. They shield again, which is very weird of them to go down 2 shields. I'm not gonna shield this. This time they actually throw the Aqua Tail, and I mess up here just a little bit. And I think because okay, we're able to get to the Disarming Voice. In the back is an extra drill. I'm gonna switch immediately. We can take drill runs here for days, not for days, but we can at least take 2. We're going to be able to get to the high horsepower not before they actually CMP us. And we're going to be able to live it with a couple down in the red. We're down in the red, but that's fine with us. Now, in the back is a Metagross, and at this point, this is GG. We do win. There's nothing they could do. I'm going to safely shield this. Doesn't matter if it's a Meteor Mash. This is over. And they know it, so they just top left. They should have top left a lot sooner, but it is what it is. So now we're going to see Gyarados into our Florges. This is pretty good, but it is running Waterfall, so not too good. Not particularly too good, but it is what it is. Now we're going to see the Aqua Tail come through. I'm going to shield the Aqua Tail because these Waterfalls are chunking, so I'm going to go for the Moonblast. They do shield, and I don't understand why every single one is shielding, so now I'm going to go for this Disarming Voice, see if they wants to shield, and this time they don't want to shield. Okay. Nice. So I can't seem to get my plays right, but they do switch out into a Metagross. So now we're going to go into our Ursaluna. We're going to let this go. No reason for me to shield. No reason for me to go down shields here. So now we're going to go for the high horsepower. We're going to full send it, and they don't shield, which is fine with me. We're going to let this go. I don't care. And now I can come into Excadrill. We're going to take 1 Waterfall, but that is fine. We're going to be able to farm up. And I do not throw in right timing, so they do sneak in a charm. So we're going to do 1 mud shot for the 1 charm, throw in a perfect timing this time. And because of that, now we're going to be able to reach the next rock slide before they do farm us down. And we're going to take that win. So Florges in the lead is doing a lot better than the Ursaluna lead. Now, this is pretty bad because this is where I want Ursaluna, but we're going to stay in. We're going to chip it just a little bit. We're going to throw the Moonblast. Then I'm going to switch instantly into Ursaluna, and in the back is the Gyarados. This is where we want to see it once again, and I do not throw in perfect timing. They are able to sneak in a Waterfall. They don't shield, they let it go, which is a very weird. In the back is a Dragonite. So now we're gonna get to the Thunder Punch. We're just gonna start spamming out these Thunder Punches as we can. We're not gonna be able to get to another one, which is pretty bad for us. Now we're gonna come into our Florges, and we're not gonna shield anything from the Dragonite. I do believe I lose this one because they did a very nice play here. I should have threw. I'm gonna let this go. They do a combo play here, which is very smart of them. And you see, I actually do throw, and but I over tap somehow, so which is pretty bad for us. I'm gonna throw the back to back here. Get that. So now they. Do I lose this? I feel like I do. Let's see. Because of that, yeah, I lose because of that. I should have kept farming up, and they were just one away from the drill run, which is pretty bad for us. So now we're not gonna be able to take that game. So very good again. My opponent played that very well. We get this excellent on this actually busted. Let me know. Are you guys able to do good excellent throws or not? I try to go for excellence, but sometimes I can't always get them. So now we're gonna see right here into our Florges, and this time it's the SmackDown version, so which is okay. So now we're gonna switch into our Excadrill. Excadrill is pretty fine to be in here because they are running SmackDown right here, and then in the back, very spicy. My opponent has a very spicy team here, so we're gonna see Porygon. And I'm just going to go for the rock slide here because I know they're going to shield it. It doesn't matter. Even though drill run is actually the more efficient move to throw. Especially because it is stabbed. We're going to let the tri-attack go. I do believe we let it go again. Hoping that we do live it. We do live it. I switch out immediately. Thinking that they were going to snipe me. And they do snipe me, but they throw the superpower. So at this point I could just go straight disarming voice. They do shield. Now I'm going to go straight for the big Moon Blast, and the Moon Blast goes through. They have no shields. I do believe I just let this go. We're going to call this as a surf. It is a surf. And then we're just going to throw one Fairy Wind for the one Smackdown. And we're just going to be able to Fairy Wind down their Porygon Z. And we're going to be able to take that game. So now we're going to see Florges into Excadrill. Okay. So now, once again, I'm going to stay in a little bit. That's fine. They could throw their drill run. I could take one. I'm going to throw the Moon Blast immediately as soon as I get it. Then we're going to switch out into our Ursaluna. Same way that we did last time. They're staying in, which makes me kind of think they might be a little bit weak to Ursaluna in the back. But then they switch out into Dragonite to show the Dragonite, which makes sense. They would put Dragonite up against Ursaluna. They have a better matchup than our Florges. So now we're going to bring our Florges in. We're down shields. This is pretty bad. So I do kind of have to shield here. I try to throw perfect timing. Get the disarming voice off. We do get it off. And in the back is a Metagross. I didn't know that there was going to be a Metagross. So I'm going to throw right before they even get to remove because I don't want to shield before I want them to shield, and they're just gonna no shield, which is fine with me. And at this point I just double shield and farm down both their Pokemon, and this is gonna be a good game. Yep, I just shield this and farm down, and the reverse to shield flex. My opponent should really learn how to use their shields there. I don't know if they just gave up at that point or what, but yeah. So now we're gonna see Metagross into our Florges. This is pretty bad, but we have two answers in the back. So now in the back they have a Gyarados, which now we want to see it here up against our Ursaluna. This is pretty good. They let it go, which made no sense for me, but okay, whatever. And we're gonna farm up. If they throw the Earth Power, that's fine, but they actually throw the Sand Tomb, so they were trying to go for a bait. Now we're gonna be able to get this high horsepower off, and to my surprise, they actually shield, knowing that I do have a Florges in the back. So I'm going to let this go. Florges can tank some hits here. Now they switch back into their Metagross, which is a very smart play. But for them, my switch clock was up too. So I'm going to be able to throw the drill run, and we're going to be able to take this game. So yeah. So even if you do lose lead, we do have two answers to Metagross. So now we're going to see a Hippopotami. I can't say the word, but you guys know. And we're gonna go for the Moonblast. We're gonna send it. They don't shield. Good for me. Weather ball. We call the weather ball. And the back is in front. Incinerate, or what is his name? I forget what his name is. Incineroar. It gets taken out. Very spicy for my opponent. So now we're gonna throw the Thunder Punch, even though it is resisted. They do go for the shield. And now at this point, I'm gonna shield this just in case it is the Earth Power. It is the Earth Power, and I'm just gonna farm down, but they don't let me farm down, and they just concede the game, which is good for me, actually. For once, people are top lefting. So now we're gonna see Florges into Rhyperior again. Okay, very interesting. Is this one running Smackdown or Mudslap? It is running Smackdown, so we do CMP here. I'm gonna shield the Rock Wrecker. Did call it correctly. And their attack goes down, so I'm just gonna go straight for the disarming voice, see what they want to do. They do shield, which is fine with me. I'm gonna get to another one. I'm gonna throw it as soon as I get to it. Make sure I throw on perfect timing. They just let it go at this point, and this is looking pretty good for me. Can I get to the Moonblast? We are able to get to the Moonblast before they throw their Aqua Tail. They do have to shield this. I switch out. In the back is a Machamp. Are we gonna be able to get to the high horsepower? Do we live this? This is the close combat Machamp. If it was a cross chop, we would have been able to live it, but very spicy from my opponent. And we're able to actually get to a Moonblast before they're going for a hard farm down here, which is pretty bad for us. I'm gonna let it go. They actually crunch us, and because they crunch us and not Aqua Tail us, well, actually we had a shield, so it doesn't matter. I do believe they were going for the debuff, but that is fine. And we go 5-0. So there's a couple leads where we saw Metagross, but since we do have two answers, we're able to do something. And lucky for us, they did switch into their Gyarados, thinking that this was our only answer. So now we're up to 2028. So Florges into Snorlax. Once again, this is kind of where I want to see it, because I don't want to get super powered. They're just gonna have to go for body slams here. That's fine with me. I go to the Moonblast. I build up to the Moonblast, throw the Moonblast as soon as I get it. No attack debuff, which is fine. So this time I do elect to shield. I'm gonna go for another Moonblast right when I get to double disarming voice. They don't shield, which is fine with me. Now I'm gonna switch. No way, this is a superpower. We're gonna catch the body slam. In the back is a Dragonite. This is okay. So now I don't know what could be in the bag. Maybe a Metagross, maybe Excadrill. That's why they probably didn't want to put it up against our Ursaluna, which is fine. But we're gonna go for another Thunder Punch here before they farm us down, which is fine with me. Now I'm gonna come into Florges. I'm gonna let this go. Calling it a Dragon Claw. It is a Dragon Claw. We're gonna go immediately for disarming voice because they did farm up a little extra. I don't want them to throw their move. I try to switch out here thinking it is a Metagross. It is a Metagross, so now we're gonna be able to throw immediately. I do believe their switch clock is still not up, so we're gonna be able to throw immediately here, hoping that they don't catch. They don't catch. Now they're gonna get a drill run to the face, and they're just gonna get mud shot down on their Snorlax, and we're able to take that game. So pretty hype. Now we're gonna see Gyarados into our Florges. Dragon Breath. This is where we want to see it, but then again, Ursaluna can do something up against it, so it's not too much bad of an answer here. So they're gonna go. They keep going for crunch, which is very weird. I mean, like, I understand you want to get the debuff, but you're wasting way much more energy, and it is resisted. So at this point, they come into their Metagross. They wanted to be easier farm down. Now they in the back they have a Dragonite. So ABA. steel, ABA steel. So they're gonna throw the Dragon Claw, which is fine. We're gonna get to another Thunder Punch. They're gonna let it go. They're saving their shields for Metagross. And I'm gonna save my shields too. So at this point, I'm gonna wait out my clock just a little bit, make sure they, and then they end up switching out immediately. So I'm gonna call this a Meteor Mash because I do need to no shield one move. We're at 100 energy, so I'm just gonna throw it immediately. Don't want to give them too much extra farm. We're gonna get off Drill Run. They do shield. We're gonna throw one Mud Shot. Throw the Drill Run. They do shield again. And then we're just going to get to the next Drill Run here. And then we're going to be able to KO the Metagross. And now we're just going to be able to farm down the Dragonite with our Fairy Wind. Fast move. So, yep. Now we're going to see Tyranitar. This is very spicy here. Smackdown. So these Smackdowns are kind of hurting. And then they switch that into Snorlax, which is fine with me. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast. We're going to build up a little bit. I'm going to switch right before I get to the Disarming Voice, but they do hold out on their energy. So now this could be a superpower, but I do shield, and it is a body slam bait. Now they do full send the superpower, so now I'm going to go for the Thunder Punch. Build up just a little bit, go for the Thunder Punch. They do let it go, which is good for me. Now they're going to come into their Tyranitar most likely. I'm going to try to get to the high horsepower. We CMP. Since it is Shadow, I do believe we do not live it. Now I'm going to come back into Florges. And then they do a very nice catch here. I'm going to stay in regardless. It is a Shadow Gyarados. At this point, they kind of had the shield right. They don't call my bait. I do shield here. I kind of need to get this Disarming Voice off and see what they want to do here. They let it go. I come into Excadrill to farm down. And I'll make sure to throw on their third Smackdown to maximize my energy so they don't sneak a move in. And at this point, a Crunch we can live. Barely. That did a lot more damage than I assumed it would. But then again, Excadrill is very frail, so but we still live it, and we're able to get the Drill Run off, which is very good for us. So now we're gonna see a Mamoswine. This looks very scary, especially since it's it hits very hard, and the avalanches also hit very hard. So, and it's a Shadow. Look at those red eyes. It's just very scary. So now we're gonna go for the Disarming Voice because I was pretty sure that they were gonna shield at this point. We shielded, they shield. I'm gonna shield again. Now, I hope that they don't shield this one thinking it's going to be another bait. They actually do shield, which is looking pretty bad for us. And then they end up catching on a Snorlax. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So now at this point, I'm going to build up more energy. Build up to a Dazzling, Disarming Voice. We're going to switch into our Ursaluna. We're going to get superpowered. That is fine. I'm going to build up more energy. They're going to superpower us again. Okay, so that is fine. Build up more energy. We're almost to back-to-back Thunder Punches. I didn't want to get body slammed. It's not enough to take out the Snorlax. Now we're going to be able to... They're going to come into a Machamp. So, okay. This is looking a little iffy for us. We're going to switch immediately into our Florges to throw the Dazzling, the Disarming Voice. They kind of have to throw here because they don't want to take a move. And now Excadrill is going to be able to tank one move here. But they actually don't throw. Maybe they were building up to the high horsepower CMP does. And we're going to be able to take that game. So now we're going to see Florges into Togekiss. Alright. So we kind of have like two answers. I'm just going to go for the Moonblast here. And then swap immediately. Build up to double Disarming Voice. Try to time our moves correctly. We do switch out. I want to see what's in the back. In the back is a Swampert. So now this is looking a little iffy for us. But let's see how we figure this out. So we're going to let the Hydro Cannon come through. We're going to go straight for the high horsepower. Do they shield? They do shield. So now that is pretty bad for us. I'm going to let this go. I don't want to spend my shields here. Now I'm going to come into Florges. Wait my clock out just a little bit. Come into Florges. Go straight for the Moonblast, hoping that they don't shield it. I don't want to shield a potential Hydro Cannon. They do let it go. In the back is a Metagross. And then at this point, this is GG's. Because we kept the 2 shields. And we're going to be able to get another 5-0. Go to back-to-back 5-0s here. I think I was very excited. That's why you see me pause a little bit. Once again, these are done on my Twitch, so if you do want to go follow me on Twitch, tell me that you came from YouTube. That'll make me very happy. Give me a follow on Twitch. Also subscribe, like, comment, subscribe if you did like the video. And I will see you guys on the next video.